Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes radio talk show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your hosts, Consuela Mackey, co-host U.S. Air Force veteran Matt Davidson, announcers Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi, U.S. Army veteran and entertainment host Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran and I Once Was Whole segment host Richard Cook, U.S. Army veteran and Lifeline for Women's Veterans segment host Martha Elena Varela, National Faith Program Director and Veterans in Recovery segment host Anthony Akimpora, and U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarceration to Success segment host Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Okay, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes. Well, we're so excited to have Martha back. Martha, you was a little bit under the weather, huh, girlfriend?
I was taking a recuperative break to get my health back in line.
Yeah,
so, yes.
There we go. I'm so happy to have you here today. Well, anyway, thank you again, and actually what the show is dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuela Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those with a disability and may have experienced homelessness. Now, we also have the reason for the show, as all of you may be aware, is to establish a platform for our veterans to be able to share their experiences, heartfelt stories, resources, challenges, and accomplishments. Now, allow me to introduce you to our host today. We have U.S. Army Reserve veteran Charles Whitehead. He's a board member, and as mentioned, he's a co-host. Taylor Marcella, she's our announcer and also a board member. U.S. Army veteran Martha Varela, she's on our advisory board, and she has a segment called Lifeline to Women Veterans. And then we have U.S. Army veteran Dr. Kathy Cash. She has a bi-monthly segment called Strategies for Hope. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Hello.
All right, Martha, I'm gonna let you take it away, girlfriend.
Okay. All right. All right, here we go. One of the questions I'm most frequently asked when people find out I'm a veteran is, didn't you go in harm's way? Did you? I've been asked this question since I first joined the Army. After nearly a decade of people asking me some version of this question, I have come to understand its implicit assumptions, that only real military service is in combat, that a front line exists, and those women aren't on it. None of these are true, and these assumptions outlook the fact that the military is fraught with hazardous and psychological taxing assignments that don't involve direct combat. Female veterans often find themselves caught in a double bind when discussing their service due to the assumption that women are not combat veterans, disbelief if they are, and devaluation of their service, written off as not real, quote unquote, veterans if they are not. While the glorification of combat service as the only, quote unquote, real service is problematic for many reasons, and most male veterans did not serve in direct combat, characterizing service in this way poses a particular challenge for female veterans. These women already face the obstacle that many, including male veterans from previous generations, do not think of women as veterans at all. Over the course of the last year, I engaged with over 100 service women and female veterans to understand how experiences on active duty affect women's identities as veterans. Some were women I had served with and close friends. Some were strangers who responded to social media postings. They spanned 4 decades of service and came from every walk of life, ethnicity, sexual orientation, service branch, and military occupational specialty. If there is any universality to the findings, it's that being a woman in the military is a uniquely lonely experience. Service women are promised that they are joining a brotherhood at enlistment or commission, only to find that women are constant outsiders. Most male veterans don't identify us as veterans, but as addition to the service that happened to be there. I hope it's changing. I understand it's subjective. That's one thing that I want for myself. Women don't have recognition for what they do, not in the service and not after service. Service women are promised that they are joining. Oh, we already said that. Women are much more self-conscious about that than men. And I think that can make it tough. And a lot of women who serve don't want to remember what it's like to be in the military. We struggle to fit in when we're in because we join on the promise to be a part of a brotherhood that makes it a struggle for us to fit in. So once again, Miss Consuela is always finding these wonderful articles that somehow sound like I'm saying them. And strangely, but not strangely, magically, this article is also one of them. I, had just a very difficult time joining for a lot of different reasons. I joined very young when I was 17. I drilled my senior year of high school and went into service right after high school graduation. I did notice that a lot of this was very true, was very difficult for me. I experienced some trauma. There was a lot of, sexual activity that was going on that was really scary to me. And I thank God that I was protected during my training, because I was actually a target by a particular drill sergeant. And it was through this conversations that I've had with women, as the article explains, predominantly when I was with the National Veterans Foundation, and I would take calls from women all across the country. I would hear the similar story. When I got out, because of this activity that I saw in training and basic training in AIT, I chose to go back home and do the National Guard route, because my initial reason for joining the military was to get some of the benefits to go to college. My parents were middle class. We were a middle class family. I was the eldest, and so I was trying to help alleviate the financial burden that it would cost my parents to pay for me to go to college. And it was very difficult for me at 23 years old, when I was ready to get promoted. I was a sophomore in college, and I was really interested in getting into the officer training school, and I was denied. Because of my gender, because of my race. And it was really unfortunate that I really had to deal with a lot of the racism and sexism towards the end of my career. So I left very bitter, very angry. I focused on my family. I had my first child, and, like I said, I was in college. So it was easy for me to just sort of transition. But, over the course of the years, I detached completely, never identified as a veteran. Never, took advantage of any of the resources or the camaraderie of the veteran community that exists until I came here to California. And it's very magical for me, because the back door, side door, now I'm in a wonderful position to help other veterans and another sub community of paralyzed veterans. And, so this article really does cast a lot of truth. And I realized that I wasn't alone when I would take these calls from many of the women veterans. They also, like me, detached and never considered themselves veterans. I would kind of crack a joke sometimes and say that the only thing I got was a cup of coffee on Veterans Day. And I'm born on Veterans Day, so I get a free breakfast from Denny's anyway. But, you know, it's a very beautiful thing and a very healing space for me to work with veterans and, you know, female veterans who are paralyzed. And, you know, just to really give it a different perspective and find appreciation for, you know, my experience, because as I found out, oftentimes many women veterans had it worse. And so I'm very excited, you know, to be in this position. I'm, you know, not saying that it's been easy. Charles is our one of our wonderful board members, so he knows, unfortunately, you know, change sometimes is necessary and that it isn't always easy. But I think we've come to, you know, sort of the crossroad of, you know, making sure that we do what's right for our fellow brothers and sisters. And so it's a very, you know, great opportunity for me to come back around and heal in the process. So I think that the you know, we're seeing a lot more resources that are available, and not a lot more, you know, women veterans are getting involved in you know, the bigger veteran community. And I'm very, very thankful to be here in California, and for the first time ever at almost 50 years of age, really be able to take advantage of all of the wonderful resources that the veteran community has. You know, and it has to offer. And so that's why I'm here. You know, I like to share and give out information, you know, connect people and really help. You know, I have a passion for helping the homeless veterans as well. And that's why I'm here with Consuela. She found me on the internet a few years ago, and we've been, you know, connected ever since. So
And
thank you,
Charles and
Consuela.
I are responsible for you having that wonderful position that you have now, executive director of PVA.
Absolutely. I met the
Go with it.
PVA through, you know, Consuela's, you know, network. And that's also something I'd like to highlight, is that, you know, Consuela is an angel. She has a lot of,
I
you know,
try.
well, and you know, God has a special mission for you too, as we all know. And so I'm thankful that I've been here volunteering with Operation Confidence for the last couple of years, and really being able to meet, you know, wonderful veterans like Charles and Dr. Cash and the rest of you, and every week meeting more new guests. So absolutely. Thank you, Consuela, so much for having me here.
You still got a lot of work to do, girlfriend.
We do.
Thank you so much.
You're
Moving
welcome.
right along here. We're waiting on Nico, but in the meantime, we want to introduce our guest for today, Master Sergeant Adams Castillo. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, Adam Castillo. Yeah.
Castillo, yeah, right. And I'm gonna let Taylor take it away and introduce you.
Adam Castillo is a native of Southern California and a retired Master Sergeant. He served in the Marine Corps from 1994 to 2014 with 2 combat tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. During his career, Castillo served in several critical leadership capacities, including drill instructor, chief instructor, and battalion field artillery chief. His management experience in the Corps led Adam to believe he would find meaningful employment in the civilian workforce. He was dismayed to find his esteemed USMC resume would only land him a full-time position as an Uber driver, entering a period he would later describe as one of the most challenging times in his life. This difficult episode eventually led Castillo into the work he does today at a psychiatric social worker for the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, where he works as a team member of the Veteran Peer Access Network. The VPAN focuses on meeting the needs of veterans and their families experiencing mental health challenges and homelessness, as well as those seeking education and disability benefits, emergency housing, legal assistance, crisis intervention, and more. He designed a link for veterans and family members with those services for which they are eligible by partnering with them to navigate existing systems and processes in place, and, when necessary, advocating on their behalf. Mr. Sergeant Castillo, please share your amazing story, and welcome.
First, I want to make a correction. I didn't design the link. There's a lot of people that came and I just participate in that. But definitely, thank you for having me on the show, and for those that served, thank you for your service, and those that continue to support. We appreciate you all as well, because we couldn't do this, because as most of you know, this takes a village and to do the work that we do. And it, and it takes, we all have a special skill set. And I've come to realize that, especially, when I first, retired, I was thinking to myself, it's like, the civilian workforce, the civilian population, they should understand me. And, and now that I've been out, I had to realize, we both have to, we work together, and I have to own some of that. So, and really that's what helped me in this transition. And I want to say also that I appreciate the Uber platform, because it helped me. That's something that really helped me. It's a humbling experience that really helped me to get to where I'm at today. And for a long time, like Martha, it's like there was a lot of resentment in the military, because I thought that, I was like getting out of the military. I was like, I'm going to land all these, superb jobs, and I didn't. Those are the entitlements that I thought I should have. But there's work that has to be put in, and that's where I had to go back to school, and I had to, and I talked to William about this, and it's like that first exam I took, it was an eye opener. Not going to school, I haven't been in school like 20 years. My first exam was like a 29, and then the next one was like a 59. But I remember going to my professor, and I was like, he gave me the opportunity to take that test again. He's like, yeah. And I was like, 59. I was like, holy cow. I was like, he goes, well, you improved. I was like, but I wasn't looking at it that way. I was like, man, I'm supposed, this is, with the post 9/11 GI Bill, I'm supposed to pay bills with this, because the Uber thing, it was a done deal now. I had to focus on school. And so, these are some of the things that I was just like, man, I don't know. I didn't really understand where I was going to go. So I had to seek services, and disabled student services, because those 3 combat tours that I went on, it's not something I volunteered for. Quite honestly, if they wouldn't have told me, hey, you don't have to go, they landed there, and that's what I had to do. I guess over a course of 20 years, it's something that has to be done. And I'd like to circle back to what Martha was talking about. In the line of work that I do today, it's a challenge when I talk to veterans, because most veterans, male and female, they don't feel like they rate the service, the benefits. And, being a former drill instructor, training civilians to become Marines, it's like, I let them know, I know the traumatic things that I've done, and, and it's affected me as well. Like, I know what they've been through, and going to boot camp, basic training, that right there alone is a traumatic event. Those 90 days or however long that period is for basic training, that's traumatic. That cultural change is traumatic. And, the first, I know for myself, the first 2.5 years of, my Marine Corps service, I was probably the biggest knucklehead out there, because I was still trying to figure out how to be a Marine, and I can tell you that, I know for myself, it's like, it was just pushing back. And, those NCOs, those non-commissioned officers, they were doing the same thing. They were pushing back on me, and that didn't go without some psychological, games. And that all right there is like, it's part of the process, but it also, what that does, it messes you up. And so veterans need to understand, it's like, hey, those are things that you need to, look into for benefits. And so I hope that, that's the discussions I have with the veterans that I work with. It's not for me to decide. It's for those raiders at the VA to decide. So at least put something in there and let them decide, and let's not be the ones to decide that. So no, those are the conversations I have. And I'm glad that Martha brought that up, because it is challenging. So, and what really led me into this work is probably going back to when I was in Cal State Dominguez Hills, which is a great school. Working at Veterans Resource Center, it was like, because like 2 classes away from my my business degree, working in there, throughout this time, just helping veterans, connecting to resources is what really was like a game changer for me, and it was just like, man, this is what I want to do. So I had to switch gears and go to do something different. So wind up changing my degree plan to sociology. And then that's what led me down to, to go to do the MSW program to where I'm at today. And then that's where I, went to US Vets, interned there. And they gave, Robert Storr, who gave me the opportunity to showcase my skills, because prior to that, I hadn't worked anywhere. And I worked for Uber, and then I worked for US Vets as an intern, and then gave me the opportunity to do the program coordinator for the SSVF, Supportive Services for Veterans and Families. And that's where that's where I began my journey in helping veterans and homeless services. And that's where it really came together for me. And then after that, starting another program called the Vet to Peer program, which is still going on today with US Vets partnership with Loyola Marymount University. And then after that, starting another program called Orange County Healthcare. With Orange County Healthcare Agency, it's called OC Peer Support and Outreach. And then I landed with JVS SoCal with VPAN as a program manager. And I promise you that during this whole time, I was putting in applications to get to Department of Mental Health. And finally, someone took a chance and I was hired with the Department of Mental Health as a psychiatric social worker. So now today, that's what I do, and continuing to help veterans. And there's a lot of times, there's closed doors, but what we try to do is there's no wrong door. We're gonna attempt to do whatever we can to figure out how we can help. Whether it's going to be, it's the object is, it's not to find new systems, it's to restore hope in the systems that are already in place. Those VA healthcare systems, Department of Mental Health, whatever. And if they're not eligible for those, that's fine. We're going to find something else until we can get them eligible for the systems that they rightfully deserve. So that's really what I like doing, and helping the veterans and family members, because family members, they're part of that support system as well. So, right. So that it's really helpful. So I don't know if I've talked too much already. So
no, you're great. We thank you so much, Adam. You have a wealth of information, and I just want our viewers to know that Adams has agreed to come on board as segment host, monthly segment host, and we want to thank him because he has a wealth of information. And I want to thank William. He's kind of hidden there, but William Wilson, I thank you so much for introducing Adams, and we're all excited to have him on board. So thank you again, and I look forward to your segment next month. Okay. Thank you. All right, so we move right along here. I want to introduce Mr. Wilson. Are you able to say hello to us, sir? Wee-hoo.
Yes, I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on speaking. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just want you to we're going to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for the introduction, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Oh, well, I'm a communications consultant with the Veteran Peer Access Network and policy consultant. And I manage all communications for the program internally and externally, and also some policy elements like transition, because one of the problems that we encounter with service members who get out and who end up unemployed chronically or homeless is what it is failure to successfully transition to civilian life. And so if we can effect a more successful transition, then you can head off those problems before they ever occur. It's like preventative care is cheaper always than, of course, crisis care, crisis management. So my efforts with the program, Veteran Peer Access Network, is to, first of all, raise our profile. It's only a year and a half old. It's a pilot program. It's a program the county is considering scaling to other at-risk populations like foster youth or those who are in reentry after being incarcerated. And then secondly, after raising the profile of the program is to help make the program a little more effective in terms of engaging with service members right as they're getting out of the service, to help them to help facilitate a better transition so that they are more productive on the other end when they become civilians. So that's sort of what I do.
Well, that's so cool. Thank you so much. And we want to always know that you're welcome to come back too. And I'm quite sure you'll be on Adam's segment when he starts. That is so cool. Thank you so much, sir.
Let me chime in on something that Adam said about basic training, which a lot of times people don't know when they go into the military. For me, that 10 weeks of basic training, that was the toughest part of our life, especially being at 18. You got these drill sergeants that first of all, they give you about 2.5 or 3 hours of sleep every night. So you wake up fresh. You can't go lay down when you want to. And I've never been in prison or anything like that, but to me that was prison because it was controlled. It was controlled what you could do, what you could eat. That can have a psychological residual. It is not fun, and a lot of people don't know that when they go into the service. It's like, then if you have a relationship like a girlfriend or a wife, the drill sergeants get in your face and tell you to forget her. Jody's taking care of her, and then so now
Wow.
you're being pounded with that kind of stuff. Don't worry about her. Whoever, that guy, other guy's taking care of her. So, you got to go through all of this stuff, and be trained. And, so if you go through all of that, you will come out as a disciplined soldier or, a serviceman. But it's not easy, especially when it's, 30 degrees or 20 degrees. You're outside exercising every morning. I was in New Jersey during the cold time, so so I just wanted to chime in and just say, hey, these are things that that people don't know, and then especially when they come out, they don't transition well. They come out, you go in, they say, oh yeah, it's all peaches and cream, but when you come out to nothing, you go back to where you were, and you find out that life isn't exactly what you thought it was going to be coming back home. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I want to kind of point on that too, because Adam kind of pointed it out, and same with William. It's that keyword transition.
exactly.
For me, I was a medic, and so in the Army, I could do things that nurses do, like give IVs and shots, and but you can't do that when you get out of the service. You got to go back to school to be either a
Right.
nurse, and that's a 4-year degree, at the quickest. And so for me, that transition was really difficult because I had initially wanted to be a paramedic, but then you got to go through a different school and training. And so I was going to be a firefighter, then I was going to be a paramedic. I mean, it was awful. I mean, thank God I was young. So when you're young, you kind of don't know what you're doing anyway, which probably was the only thing that kind of saved me. But it is about transition and needing the support while you're
Right.
in transition. And so, William kind of pointed that out, and how important that is. And, Consuela, as I pointed out, when I was transitioning here about 3 months ago, trying to look at other employment opportunities, it's that networking and support of groups like us and platforms like this that help, kind of give those recommendations or sort of pass along those job openings. And it's so important. It really is important, whether you're just getting out or you've been out, because there's resources there and they're meant to help and support while we're in transition. And transition happens all the time, right, over the course of our lifetime. But I was just kind of commenting on something that Adam said. It's tough. You get out, like when I came here, I was doing DoorDash, and I was ready to like crash my car because I was like, I didn't finish college to be a DoorDash driver. Thank God my son thought it was like, super cool as he's in the front seat while I pull up, illegally parked at the corner. Like, all right, if a cop comes, tell him that your mom's a DoorDash driver, show him the bag, and I was just like, oh Lord, that did so I get it, Adam. It's
How old was
tough.
he? How old was
Just
you,
a
baby?
year, 2 years, 3 years ago, we've been here now. So he was about what, 13 when we first
Okay,
when we first
right.
came back. So
And here you got a master's degree at DoorDash.
Yeah, and I was at DoorDash, and again, it was the wonderful support of the veteran community here, but not too many of us know that, right? And when we need that resource to be there so we can make it less stressful, during each transition that we go through. But I just wanted to share that, kind of point out what both Adam and William had kind of said, and really say how important that is to be supportive during transition, for
Right.
both men and women.
And I'm going to point out too, the Vet to Peer program, the peer support is the best kept secret of the VA. Everybody goes through things, and when you have someone that's gone through it and they can tell you about it, and that's what peer support is all about. And so Adam, when you were talking about the program and now it's going down into Orange County, there are so many veterans who don't know that they have that access. They have somebody that they can talk to who is that fellow Uber driver. And, you give them that hope. Say, you know what, I was an Uber driver at one time, but now look at me.
Right.
I did all, when we come out the military, we're on top of the world. Especially after retiring, we've been in charge of millions of dollars worth of equipment. We've had so many people under our charge. And then we come out and we can't get anything more than a delivery driver. And not that that's not a respectful position, because it is. But when we look at the caliber of the veteran, knowing that there is somebody who's been where I've been, who's walked in my shoes, and who I can go to for hope, I can go to and hear how they made it through.
Right.
So that's why I love the peer support program, all of them.
Cash, can I comment on that right there? So last week I was in the walk-in mental health clinic with a couple of one of my clients, but I was in there there was another captain of a Black Hawk pilot, and we're sitting there, and you're at your worst. And I'm looking at both of them, and we started a conversation, and I told him, you know what? I said, because like you said, we're there to restore hope. And I said, we're all sitting here talking. I said, but you know what? I can remember in 2014, when I was sitting in this chair myself, just like you all. And now here I am as a licensed clinical social worker, but I'm in a peer role. So I can share these things. Like there's hope. Now look what I'm doing. And you know what? You see in their face, they're like, they could see, they were so happy. Like there is hope. And
So
I'm glad you brought that up, Dr. Cash.
And it is important to share it.
Yeah, it is.
That, when you go through something like that, it is important that others hear it.
Well, that's what we're all about, sharing this wealth of information. And I sure thank you also, Adam, for what you've shared with us. So we're going to move right along, because I know everybody's on the schedule here. We have coming up next, Dr. Cash. Come on, girlfriend. You can give us a little bit about your bio and who you're going to introduce as your guest. Tell us a little bit about you first.
Okay, well, I am a U.S. Army veteran. And Charles, I think I was in that same snow that you were in, Fort Dix, New Jersey, in January.
Really?
From sunny Southern California. The first day it snowed, it was like 3:00 in the morning. My bunkmate jumps up hollering, it's snowing, it's snowing. So we played in it for about 10 minutes before we were ready to shovel it, but it was cold. So when you've done push-ups in the snow, when you've low crawled in the snow, that's an experience. You can't get that if you just stay in California. Los Angeles, you don't get that.
I was at Fort Dix too, but not in the winter.
I think they just waited to say, we're going to send the LA people there in the wintertime. Yeah.
I've lived in the cold before, because I used to live in, during my father's in the service, so we lived around. So I've been in all kinds of weather. I've lived through hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, so, it's all, but that cold, me and cold don't get along. So that's why
I couldn't handle it at all.
Yeah,
I'm California. I couldn't handle it.
That's what I'm saying. Born and raised in California, and then go to the snow, go to New Jersey, Fort Dix, New Jersey in the wintertime. But that's where I did my basic training, the U.S. Army, and I was a food service specialist, the second most important position in the military, right behind payroll. Because people wanted to get paid, and then they wanted to make sure they ate. So that's what I did while I was in. And after coming out of the service, I was told I wasn't a veteran because I didn't do combat, because I was a woman. So, and I was told this by an authority figure at the VA. You know, when you go to the VA, you're expecting to get the correct information. So whatever you're told, and there weren't peer supports back then. There weren't people who were there to pick you up and take you by the hand and here, this is the right thing. They didn't give you the right information. Let me give you some, let me hip you to some good stuff. Those people weren't there. So I didn't go back to the VA. I lived my life, did everything that I could do. And then when I needed medical care, a friend of mine who was a Marine veteran, I don't know, every time I always keep coming back to the Marines. He was a Marine veteran, served the same time I did. So he told me he was a veteran, and he told me in some very colorful words to get down to the VA and get my care. And as they say, the rest is history. I started at the Long Beach VA, then I moved over to West LA VA. And at the West LA VA, I met Roy Brown, one of the pioneers in veteran peer support. So I started working with Vet to Vet, volunteered there for 2 years like it was a job. Talking about 40 hours a week. I was there supporting veterans. People thought I was working. People thought I was employed. And it was funny because they would say, okay, well, Kathy, you're going to do this. I said, I can't do that. Well, why not? Just log onto the computer. I said, I'm not an employee. You're not. But that was the passion that I had when I learned about what I didn't have. Right. And I just decided that, I'm not going to let anybody else go through this. Right. So that's what I did. And now I am a peer specialist at the VA. I've run into Adam several times. His name is out there and Vet to Peer. We're
thrilled to have you on our team, girl.
Hey, I love it. I love it because it's all about getting the information out. It's about getting information out. These secrets that we have, we just have to, on every platform we can, we need to get that information out. That's right. And my guest today is Miss Kimberly Morrow. She is a Coast Guard veteran. Whoa. She's a Coast Guard veteran. You know, whenever there's a meeting of veterans, whenever there's a room full of veterans, you know, we always do the roll call. Army, everybody in the Army holler out. Marines, everybody holler out. Navy, everybody holler out. Chair Force, everybody holler out. Then they say Coast Guard, and you hear nothing. Whoa. So our Coast Guards are far and few between, but they are veterans and they are very much part of our veteran community. Mm-hmm. So Kim is an awesome, not only a veteran of the Coast Guard, but she's an advocate in her own right. And she does so much in the community for other women veterans. She's that voice that does not have a title. And that's the thing, you know, sometimes people say, well, when I get a job doing this, then I'll be able to do that. No, as a veteran, you start without a title. You walk in your purpose, you do what you're going to do, you do what you've been called to do, and people don't have to recognize you for doing it, but they know that it's been done because you've done it. So I want to introduce Kim, but before we go there, I want to offer a word of prayer. That's right. And then we're going to move on with and hear about Kimberly and Morrow. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, how we say thank you for the blessings of this day. Lord, we thank you for this platform. We thank you for this organization. We thank you for the vision that you've given to Consuela and that she is obedient to the vision. Lord, we lift everyone up on this panel, on this call, guests, past, present, and future. For Lord, we come together to enhance the lives of our fellow veterans. We thank you for the resources. We thank you for the support. And Lord, we just thank you for just taking care of us through it all, through the rain, through the snow, through everything. The combat, Lord, you've taken care of us, and we say thank you. And so as we've taken that into account, we're serving our fellow veterans, and we thank you for giving us the strength to do that. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless us individually and collectively. Bless Operation Confidence as they move forward to do what it is that you would have them to do. Open those doors, find favor, for Lord, all of us are still in service, not only to our fellow man, but to you. For your word tells us to what you've done unto the least of them, you've done it unto you. So Lord, we thank you and we praise you in your matchless name. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen, girlfriend.
Amen.
Wow. Did we not need that or what? Well,
So
introduce
Kim,
Miss Kimberly.
Tell us about your time in the Coast Guard.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hi, Kim.
Thank you so much for the invite and the opportunity. Yes, I am a U.S. Coast Guard veteran. I am a North Carolina native. I am the youngest of 14. I have one son. I am now residing in hot Pasadena.
Okay.
And the wind was blowing at my window. I was like, what is that? It's the wind blowing. Anyway, sorry. But yes, I served 1982, 1987. I was a health service technician, pharmacy specialist. I got my health service technician because they cross-trained for medical and dental at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut in the winter time. So I know being out there marching in the snow and being in the cold and all of that. And then I got my pharmacy specialist training at Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Can you repeat that? You got your what? Because there's some kind of trouble on your line. I think it's your internet.
Okay. And then the wind is blowing and I turned the air on. Okay, so but my pharmacy specialist training
Okay.
at Fort Sam, Texas. So I went from being in the cold to going and being in the hot sun.
Wow.
And neither one of them served me well. And so, but when I got out of the military in 1987, I was so broken, so hurt, so all the challenge I had serving in those 5 years, I did not tell anybody I was a veteran, and certainly Coast Guard did not come out of my mouth because I did suffer from military sexual trauma, unfortunately, and kept it all to myself because I didn't think that I would get the support. And thank God there's so much more support out there now.
Yes.
But I also like to mention that I was born into a military veteran family, starting with my maternal grandfather, my dad, uncles on both sides. My oldest brother, cousins were Vietnam Marines, youngest brother, Air Force, you know, niece, nephew, cousin. So I know military. You name any of the branches, I'm familiar with them. So when I finally started seeking the help, the very much help that was needed, I began to open up, and then I began to, because my own experiences are where, okay, there's resources that are lacking, information that is lacking, support that is lacking. And I'm a very advocate for information and sharing and making sure that, you know, how some people, like someone mentioned, people just like to keep things to themselves in a certain group and a certain few of us, so to make sure we get what we need, and then they can care less about anybody else. And I'm talking about other veterans.
Right.
And then that works at the VA. So I'm a very, very advocate because I think about my grandfather, my dad, all of my relatives who didn't get the benefits that we as veterans are getting now. It was not available to them. My father died in the VA hospital back in North Carolina. And so we just didn't have the resources and the support back then. And so I do all I can because what I do, I feel like I am honoring them. And so yes, I do try to advocate as much, try to get as much information as possible. I'm one that will ask questions. I'm one that will call the DC. I'm the one that will write the president. I'm the one, I will do it quickly. And so, yes, I love supporting my military veteran family. That's my tribe. And
can you share when you wrote to Michelle Obama?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wrote to President Obama and Michelle Obama. And I wrote to President Obama. I guess I shouldn't have told him that I was angry. But it was true. I was angry and frustrated. I said, okay, they're going to be watching me. Saying, we got an angry veteran here. Keep a close eye on her. Michelle Obama, too, and told her that I was being discriminated against. And she wrote me a nice letter back. I still have the letter. As soon as I move, I'm going to frame it and all of that. And I just recently wrote President Biden about some things too. So I'm quick to do that. I'm quick to advocate. I'm quick to say, no, this is not right. And what we're going to do to fix it. No, okay, everybody has an excuse, but the excuses don't fix anything, nor does it get anything done. How can we make this better? Because I learned years ago from a relative who used to say, help make it better for those coming behind you. Help make it better for them, because there was somebody that went through something, and that's the reason why you're getting the benefits and the support and all that you're now, because they dare to be the trailblazer and the innovator and all of that. And I also like to say that I met Dr. Kathy Cash, who is a pastor also. I met her back in 2015 when I first moved to LA. And she came and talked to us as women veterans and all of that. So off and on, staying in contact with her. I'm excited to get reconnected with her, more so on the spiritual side, which is great. And I love how she loves getting things done. And that's the kind of person I am, getting things done. You know how some people just all talk and no action. I love it because she just don't talk. She's a woman of action. So, but yeah, anything that I can do to support any veteran, any military family, I'm there, giving it my all, because it gives honor back to my family members as well. So thank you again for having me on and being able to share my story.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Yes,
And
Kim will
Dr.
send
Cash,
you
you just
flyers.
encourage her too to come back on the show and even consider a segment, because girlfriend, you writing all the people we have to write.
She's doing it. That's that advocacy.
That's right. Dr. Cash will tell you where we are with our organization, and we love to have you involved and come back and even consider a segment. Okay, whenever you have time. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate you. Yes, she sends me flyers. She finds out information and she'll send me a flyer. She'll messenger me. Did you know about this? Tell somebody else, share it.
All right. Well, this is a great platform to share.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much. Okay, moving right along. Taylor, welcome back our good friend, Nico. Tell us about Nico.
Nico Marcolongo is a veteran of the Iraq conflict who served 14 years as a Marine officer. After his second Iraq deployment, Nico was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. After the conclusion of his military service in February 2008, Nico joined the Challenged Athletes Foundation, where he leads the foundation Operation Rebound program for injured veterans and first responders. Nico and his family were also featured on the Sesame Street workshop episode, Coming Home, Military Families Coping with Change. Welcome back, Nico, and take it away.
Thank you very much. It's good to see everybody again.
Yeah, you have a guest today too, Nico.
It's good to be here. We have one of our veterans here today, one of the veterans who's part of our program, Operation Rebound, Calvin Poole from Tennessee. Calvin is a Navy veteran. He also leads the regional division of Blind Veterans Association in Tennessee. He's a veteran.
The flying veterans?
Blind veterans, yes.
Oh, blind veterans, okay.
Calvin himself is blind,
okay.
Navy veteran. He plays a lot of goal ball. He just got back from a big event out in the mountains of, well, I'll bring Calvin on to talk about all that. Calvin, are you there? I think I see your icon there.
Yeah, I'm here, Nico. I don't have my video on because I really don't see the screen, but I'm here.
That's okay. I wanted to bring you on because I thought this group should hear about all the wonderful things you're doing in Tennessee, advocating for veterans, getting them engaged in sports and outdoor activities, so they don't, they're not isolated and they can start becoming part of the broader community. So I'll let you take it from here, Calvin.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be among this great group. I've been sitting listening, and it's exciting to hear the advocating going on. But myself, I'm a Navy veteran, like Nico said, United States Navy, Seabees, and it was a construction battalion. I got it in 1982, and in 2009, I lost my sight to glaucoma. And it led me, I went in circles. I didn't know what I was going to do. For about a month to six months or so, I laid in bed and I blew up to about 275, almost 300 pounds.
Wow.
And one morning I was kind of in bed and I had the covers over my head and I could actually smell myself dying. And I said, I gotta get out this bed. And so from that point, I started to search the internet and finding some groups that could assist me. And I found the Blinded Veteran Association, first of all, and they were advocating for veterans with sight loss. And most of the studies have shown that most of the veterans like myself that started to lose their sight go into a deep state of depression like I did, and the suicide rate is pretty high. So I joined the Blinded Veteran Association, and I always have been an avid sportsman. And I found out that I could still play sports. And wow, it has been an adventure. I snow ski,
Really?
I kayak, I play goal ball, I play beat baseball, beat kickball, tandem cycling. And I pretty much participate in all different kind of athletic events. And what we do here in Memphis is my mission to try to get in the homes and get the veterans, especially the blinded veterans, which is my heart, out of the house and back active again, playing sports. And you can take most any sport and make it into adaptive sports by adding a bell or a rattle. And a lot was saying, well, I can't see this, I can't see that. So we got them out and just let them listen to the ball or listen to the event. And so as a result, we got teams that compete national, like Nico said, in goal ball. I take teams all around the country playing goal ball and archery and a lot of events. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you, Nico.
Calvin, can you tell the group, they may not be familiar with goal ball and what goes into it? Can you kind of explain what it's like and how many players, and you roll the ball across the court?
Sure. And does he have any videos and pictures to be able to share when he comes back on? You're coming back on, Mr. Poole, right?
Yes, I'll be back on for sure. I can send you some videos. I've got plenty of pictures.
Yeah. That's so educational for everybody.
Yeah, like Nico was saying, goal ball has been around since about 1945. It's an old sport, but we play on the court the size of a volleyball court, which is 60 feet long, 30 feet wide. Around the perimeter of the court, we use gym floor tape, and underneath that tape, we use string. And we use the string and the tape so you can have an orientation as to, by being blind, you got to have orientation lines. So you have out-of-bound lines are marked by tape. The players, if there are 3 people on each team, a center, left wing, and a right wing, kind of playing in a triangular formation. Behind each team is a soccer goal, which is 30 feet long, about 4 feet tall. And the object of this game is to roll this bowling, kind of like a bowling ball, but it's a goal ball, which is smaller than a basketball. Pretty thick skin on it though. Has bells inside of it. So you want to roll this ball to try to get it past your other opponents on the other end. And everybody's, whether you have sight or not, everybody wears blacked out ski goggles so no one can see. We in total darkness. So you have to listen to your other teammates. You have to know where you're on the court at all times. So once the game starts, the referee will kind of blow a whistle, bloop, 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 to let everybody know in the gym to be quiet, because we have to have silence so we can hear the ball coming. So once the ball strikes me, for instance, it hits me, I have 10 seconds to get back on my feet and serve the ball back like you kind of do in tennis. It's kind of like volleying back and forth. So if I get the ball past one of my opponents, that's one score. And there are several penalties that you have in the game, but it's a fun game. I will be glad to come back and bring some information about goal ball when I come back.
Oh, please do, and some videos and photographs. That would be excellent.
And so Calvin's not only out there obviously playing himself, but he's been sending a lot of veterans, blinded veterans our way too, that we can help out. So for example, during the pandemic, you couldn't get together and play goal ball and go out and do a lot of things. So we could overcome some of that social isolation. We were getting, say, spin bikes for some of the vets, so they could be on there, spinning away, and then they could, they were called smart trainers with them. They could log in and they could track along with somebody else while they're cycling. One of our veterans in New York who's blind, we got him a smart trainer, and he rides a tandem bike. And then he could sync up with his tandem right with his pilot, and he wouldn't even have to see him. And they could continue their training even though they're in two different places.
You got to show that. Come back and show that, Nico.
I don't know how to show. Well, it's all through the computer. You're on there and you're cycling and you're syncing.
Somebody took some pictures somewhere.
Partner can sync up through the computer, and he can tell how many watts you're putting out, and then you're getting in sync, so you can continue your training even if you're not in the same location. It's pretty good. The technologies that we have now, and Calvin, maybe you can speak to that. Some of the technologies that have come out to help people who are sight impaired or blind move around and do things.
Yeah.
Well, like for instance, on my all of my computers and iPhones have what we call screen readers on them, and I cannot see nothing but light right now. So I was able to get on and log in because my phone basically talks to me, and and I can navigate by using sound. If I get mail, I can just hit a certain button, it automatically read my mail to me. If I want to send a message, I just say, "Hey Siri, send a message to Nico. I need money." Something simple like that. But so it's fun. But in today's society, where blind is definitely not a weakness anymore. And I also work with several other groups, the National Federation for the Blind. I operate a nonprofit here in Tennessee called the Tri-State Adaptive Sports Association, where we help the people in the community get involved in adaptive sports. And after about 10 years of being in business, I realized that we wanted to open the doors up to other people, I don't call them disabilities, I call them barriers, that might want to come out, like paralyzed veterans. So we have competitions here against paralyzed veterans. We recently had an archery tournament, and the blinded veterans compete against the paralyzed veterans. And I know you know who won, right?
You.
Oh man, that's a challenge, Charles.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to contact Nico. We call here. It
sounds like a challenge to me, Charles.
Yeah, I heard him talking. I said, okay. So you don't
I have to ask Nico a question. How are you coming in and off of that screen? Look like you fall off the chair and come back up on the chair. What are you doing?
I just put my phone down on the couch like this. And then
is that it? This thing looked like you fell out of the chair and then come back like that. Exactly.
But I'm always listening in.
Okay, but no, Mr. Poole, your information is just fabulous. Oh my God, we want to learn more. It's so informative.
This you'd be. Go ahead, Connie. Sorry for cutting you off.
There's so many folks, especially those who are visually impaired, that needs to know this, especially our veterans. So please share your information. Nico, please accompany, help him to come back and share this wonderful information. We're so excited.
I have one reflection for Mr. Poole, and something you said about when you were laying in bed, just sort of like realizing that your life was going by, right? It really kind of struck me because right now I'm kind of dealing with some sciatic nerve, lower back. I mean, a lot of it's from what I've discovered is service connected, because I broke my foot in basic training, and I've just kind of lived life like that with you know, whatever, like they tell you, right? Suck it up. It was either that or
Right.
I get recycled and go back, which I wasn't going to do. So I went through everything with a broken foot. And I sort of forgot about it, right? Life goes on and you just kind of live. But now it's sort of to the point where I can't ignore it anymore. It's just really overcome like every, you know, and I'm an athlete too. I've played basketball, baseball, and volleyball my whole life. I've been a basketball coach for the last 20 years. My
That's
kids
great.
are athletic, 3 sports, you know, athletes. And, you know, so I come from a big athletic family. So it's been really difficult for me to figure out how this happened when I've been healthy. I mean, I coached 3 teams in 2017 before I went to grad school. So this not me. But it's interesting that you said that, because I think that's the beautiful part of this network is that we hear from people, we meet people who share stories, and sometimes we don't realize that some of those lessons that they've learned that you're sharing resonate with us in different ways. And so this weekend I was saying the same thing, that I've had enough of this. I've been sitting around feeling sorry for myself and, oh, my leg, and, you know, and just kind of going down that road. So when you said that, it was like resonating with me, because I can't do that. And I'm still so young to be just giving up of like, oh, this is going to overcome me. So thank you for sharing that personal part of your story, because it like I said, it's really resonating right now with me, and giving me a lot of motivation and hope to really just say to myself, I'm going to deal with this, and I'm done with this pain and this obnoxious, annoying,
Right.
you know, that I'm dealing with right now. And so I just want to say thank you
You're
Oh,
welcome.
that's
sharing
so
that.
sweet.
And I just want to say I'm down to 225 pounds from 275.
Yay.
Yay.
That's awesome.
All right. There
Yeah.
you go. Well,
Now I gotta say though, Calvin went to an event recently, and I got a picture back from that event. Now he's not moving all the time. Sometimes he relaxes. There was a nice picture of him in an inner tube, kind of going down a river. He looked quite comfortable. That was fun, huh, Calvin?
It was fun. We was in Laura, Fort Virginia, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we was on the river for like 5.5 hours. So I was in this inner tube and just floating down the river.
you don't have that picture?
Yeah, I do
Nico?
have it.
Okay. Nico brought it up. I thought maybe you had the photo.
Yeah, he does. I send it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, Nico, you don't have it? Can you show it?
You muted yourself.
You muted. Can't hear you, Nico.
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You come back with that.
Honey, gonna hold your feet to the fire. You know, get that photo now. Not next show. Now.
Yeah.
But while we was in Virginia, I actually came across another sport, and it's called kick golf.
Really?
Yeah. So they use these soccer ball on a 9-hole golf course. You score just like your regular golf, you know, par 4, par 5, par 3s, but you're kicking a soccer ball into this big 5-gallon bucket. And
Wow.
so it was challenging at first for me, because just trying to line up, because I can't see, trying to line up on the tee box to get a good kick. But after about 4 or 5 holes, I was able to kind of have a lot of fun with it.
Wow.
So there's a lot of games out there that we can adapt, and even with the young lady with the back problems, there are some games that we can adapt for you that won't be so strenuous on you.
Yeah. Nico found that
I
picture.
put
Oh,
the
yeah,
picture
there
of
he
it.
is.
That's Calvin. That's what he looks like, and that's what he looks like when he's really comfortable.
Oh,
That's so
He looks
cool.
relaxed right there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, don't bother me. You know?
yeah,
That's
we was
so cool.
out there, like I said, 5.5 hours. So we floated down there. It was the New River in Blue Ridge Mountains. Yeah,
That seems like it's so peaceful. Do you
it
swim?
was.
You swim, Calvin?
Oh yes.
See? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's been such an honor to have you on the show and to hear your story. You are such a role model,
Thank you.
and we need to have you back, and always know you're welcome, and come back with some segment if you want to, and just share some of your experiences, because it's so inspirational.
Well, thank you. Do
Yeah.
you meet same time every Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make it a part of my day.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right.
Okay. And Nico will keep you informed too.
Right.
You know, okay. Thank you. You always welcome. God bless you and keep the good work up.
God bless you so much.
Thank you. Okay, it's on you, Martha.
Okay. Did you know that women have been serving in the United States military since our country declared independence? Though women have labored long and hard for the right to be seen as an equal within the realm of public service, their contributions have been crucial to our progress and freedom. In honor of the amazing women who have served and still serve, we want to highlight a few of the most impactful, famous, and courageous women veterans who have served in the military. Though you may know her for her on-screen role, The Golden Girls, Bea Arthur started her career as a member of the military in 1943 at the age of 21. She worked as a truck driver for the Marine Corps. Oh, I didn't know she was a Marine, a women's reserve member, and a typist. Though her superiors described her as argumentative, she successfully completed assignments at Marine Corps and Navy air stations in Virginia and North Carolina. The incredible General Anne E. Dunwoody, who was the first woman to serve as a four-star general in the U.S. Armed Forces, joined the Army in 1974 and served until 2012. She served in many roles, but her most impactful contribution was as commander of the Army Materiel Command, or AMC, one of the Army's largest commands, employing more than 69,000 employees across all 50 states and 145 countries. Her superiors noted that she executed the role with incredible efficiency and creativity. Just some wonderful facts about some powerful women.
Right. You'll be able to come back and share some more incredible stories because our viewers may not know the contributions that our women veterans have given to our to the military, our service members. So we want you to come and share some more with the Martha. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, Taylor, take it away, girlfriend. We're winding down now.
Yes. So do you want me to skip that last segment and then go to or read my part?
Excuse me?
Do you want me to read my part?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Martha just did hers. Did you know?
Okay.
You next is you, my love.
You said one dance. I'm like,
Huh?
You said
nothing.
Take it literal. Yeah. She said, you said wind down. That means,
Oh no, we're coming to a close, but you got girlfriend, don't go. You got to give your police.
Yes, ma'am.
That's my baby girl. One of my baby girls.
How to stay confident and positive as a wheelchair user. One, you have to accept your disability. There are many people who became disabled later on in their lives due to certain illnesses or even accidents. For them, an unexpected disability in their lives can be harder to cope with. But understand that unless you accept your disability, you cannot be confident. There might be many people around you who talk only negative things, but you are in complete charge of your life. Be yourself. Don't worry about what the world tells you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can or cannot do anything. Unleash your inner self and enjoy every minute of your days. This is the key to staying positive and confident always. And try new things. Love art, sports, or crafts. Find out your interests and build on them. When you have an activity to engage in, you will never get bored. At the same time, you can learn new things about what interests you. And lastly, go outdoors and explore. Most of the times, moving around is not easy for a wheelchair user. This is because most of the public places and even across the world are not fully accessible. But being a wheelchair user, don't miss out on any opportunities to step outdoors. Love traveling? Do not hesitate. Do a little research, and most of the accessible places you will be able to explore around the world. I am a wheelchair user. I have osteogenesis imperfecta, and layman's terms is brittle bones, and I was diagnosed with that disorder, or I was diagnosed with that condition early on. So I can only speak on being a wheelchair user for all of my life. There have been challenges, I will admit, feeling different from my peers, the comparison with myself and my siblings, and, why, and questioning why God made me this way. It wasn't until I had to really have a conversation with myself where then I had to shift my thinking, you know. You change your surroundings, you change your group of friends, you change how your self-talk. And slowly that starts to change how you view yourself and the person that you are presenting to society. Yeah, I have a wheelchair. That's fine. That's an accessory.
Right.
And also, I would like to note that my faith played a major role in accepting that I am in a wheelchair and I have a disability, but that doesn't define me. If anything, it has brought me further in life than I would have ever imagined I would be at this point. In grad school, driver's license, I'll be getting a car. There are so many amazing things that are happening in my life. And as well as meeting amazing people like Connie and the rest of you guys on this show, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity. So yeah.
You're so amazing.
Your attitude will determine your altitude. Attitude, altitude. So keep going.
Go.
And she's so modest. I mean, she's won Miss Wheelchair USA a few years back. She's going for a master's degree, and I mean, she's just done some amazing things. And she works for Edwards Air Force Base. We made sure that she got on there because she wants to follow in supporting our veterans. Although she's not a veteran, she's doing some amazing. Tell us a little bit what you do at Edwards Air Force
At
Base.
the base, I work in the mental health clinic, and so I work with families that maltreatment cases have been brought up against them. And so with that, we work with the families to provide them supportive resources, classes, preventative service to help mitigate that and to provide them with, the compassion that oftentimes military does not give their service members, compassion and understanding and meeting people where they're at. So yeah, that's what we do. And so hopefully one day I will be the family advocacy officer.
Yeah, it's what you're going studying for, right?
Yeah.
To become one
I
of
need
many.
to get my LCSW, and then with that, I can, go that route, or wherever God leads me. So I'm not.
Once she
just
gets
hate.
them wheels, it's over. Once she gets those wheels, it's over.
Oh, it's done. It's done.
We can say, "Oh, we knew her when," and then that's gonna be it.
Like,
She's
And,
like,
li-
"Oh,
and listen to Charles, who don't sit still for more than 5 minutes a
but
day.
I'm still
You-
around."
You
That's
going
right.
somewhere later, I know it.
And he's a wheelchair user, but he's dynamite. Charles, real quick though, before you move on, because we're moving on, let our audience know a little bit about you. You on several boards, including Operation Confident.
Yeah, I sit on about 4 or 5 boards. I'm a commissioner here in Long Beach. I work at Rancho Los Amigos, which is a national rehab center.
How long you been at Rancho?
Since '94.
Right.
And similar to you, who said that they were volunteering for 40 hours a week? I was doing that.
That's Dr. Cass.
Right. I used to have a limousine service. And the year of the Rodney King riots, the very first night, 6 guys jumped one of my drivers and took the keys and his wallet. He said, "Can I have my wallet back? I don't have any money." They looked, they threw him his wallet, and he was there to pick up some people at their house. And they took the car and they used it to loot, and they ran it into a gun shop and did all that, and went back to their neighborhood and burned it, left in the middle of the street and burned it. So I got out of I had 3 cars in, but I had a lot of work in LA, and LA was all burned up. So I got out the business and I started volunteering at Rancho Los Amigos. Um, 7 days, 5 days a week, and I was a volunteer. I didn't work there, but after a couple of years, a part-time job opened up in the gate lab where I work now, and I started doing that for a year. And then after a year, it opened up to full time, and so now I've been there since 1994, and I own a trucking business, and so I'm
Big
kind of
real big rig trucks too, not the little bitty little pickups. So,
yeah. So so I'm sort of transitioning because I'm at the point where I really want to just focus on the business and get it really going because transportation is always a need, and things are kind of working out, and so that's just some of the stuff I do. And I'm
what
a
do you do?
musician.
What do you do at Rancho?
We do a lot of research stuff. I run computers and things like that. I'm kind of a I wear a lot of hats over there, so you
And
know
you put on different
we have events and things like that. I'm the guy, the music guy. I teach songwriting class through our wellness center. So like I said, I'm a musician, and
he has his own band. What's the name of your band group?
the name of the band is Per Se, PERSE, two words, Per Se.
And
Per
then
Se.
you wrote the theme song for Long Beach,
Well, yeah,
right?
I wrote a song called Downtown Long Beach, pitched it to the mayor and the city council, and they kind of connected me with the convention center visitors bureau. So, I do stuff like that just to, everything I'm involved with, I like, or else I would be doing it. So,
He's so modest.
you know,
Well, thank you so much. Come on, Charles. You ending running down. We're about to end the show.
in the show, like she said it again, Taylor, watch out now. You want me to do my part? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you got to do your part. It's down here good with the
I know,
hot
I know.
news.
All right, hot, this is hot news. Hot.
Yeah.
No, I have to do it that way. It's like the sun with a hot sauce on it. It's hot and flavorful.
Right, right,
Flavorful.
right.
So today's hot news is about Amazon, they're hiring at the following sites.
We
They're,
partner with Amazon.
we do. Oh, see. Okay, Amazon cancel. See, I changed
Listen to you.
my speaker name from
Who is that?
that.
Alexa.
His
Alexa.
Amazon
Oh,
speaker
that's
or
Alexa.
I changed the name from Alexa a long time ago. I have three of those things here at my place, and
And you changed with Amazon?
well, those are one of the options. So now they have it's Amazon. I'm not gonna say the name. Echo, Ziggy, and Alexa, of course. So I changed her name. You know, you say
So
the
she,
name and they get all. Are you talking to me? Yeah,
And
she
Google
want to be
has one
part of the
too.
show. You know.
Google has one too. I have the little Google one.
Yeah.
Hey,
So.
Google. You go, okay, Google. What's
Yeah.
up,
Hey,
Google?
Google.
yeah, hey,
Uh
remember that little lady? Hey, Google.
huh. And so anyway, yeah, that A
Oh,
word is
she heard you.
gotta be quiet around here, boy. Um, they're hiring at the Vernon Prime now, and they have Prime now shoppers positions. Locate and carefully choose. I'm not going to go through with the exact. You can look up all of this
Right,
info on Operation info at what do we look? Where is it from? At on operationconfidence.org.
right.
But
Hmm.
they're hiring at the Prime now. They're hiring at the Los Angeles Prime now and Silver Lake, and they're all these are Prime now shoppers. They're hiring websites. There are Amazon.com/flexible jobs, Amazon.com student hourly jobs, Amazon.com military jobs, Amazon.com PWD hourly jobs, and so I would just
Amazon.com military jobs too.
yes, I said that one. And I would suggest that candidates also text AMAZON to 770-888 in order to be alerted when applications are open. And if you
Can you
want,
say that again, please?
that's 77088 at the. See, I can't say the word because Miss Nosy over here, she trying to be part of the show. See,
Yeah, she is. What's it called?
sometimes I be saying something, and then they start yakking off, and I was like, hey, well, and then I have my friends cracking up. They be like, that's a comedy act, It's like you over there having, they be cracking up. I said, you over here having a argument of
What they go
fussing with this. I'll be like, yeah, I know it is funny, but
That's
contact
funny.
Ricardo Fierro Jr. at he's a staffing coordinator at the LAX North workforce staffing, and his email is ricfierr at amazon.com. That's ricfierr at amazon. Can you say it again? Oh, I'll say it again for you. RITFIERR. See, I'm doing comedy as we go, at amazon.com. Okay. And visit amazon.com/hourly jobs near me. Now, I'm going to show you my little segment we call animal humor. I like to, give a little, we doing all of this good talk, but today's is about for Mr. Poole. You won't be able to see this, but it's a video, and today's is about a couple of huskies, and one dog gets he thinks he's getting the nice snack, but the other one gets the best, when he steps out. But you can hear what happens. So I'm gonna share that for you guys, and then we're gonna go get ready to wind down, as Connie say.
Hey Desmond, man, you don't want that cookie? You don't want the cookie, man? Hey man, listen, you snoozing, you snoozing, you losing, Desmond. Hey, you better take the first offer they give you, man. Let that be a lesson in your life. You know what? It's all right, Benedict. I don't regret the choice I made. Cause maybe I should have just took the wait. For me? For what? For me? Oh, haberdasheries and Eagles.
Oh, the treachery has no bounds. Huh? Y'all didn't think I was gonna come back in here, you slippery when wet bastards, hiding the chicken underneath the table, huh? We just providing lessons like TJ.
Good things come to he who waits.
Yeah, there you go. So
what do you say, Nico?
No, Nico said good things come to he who
Oh
waits.
yeah.
So the first dog got the little snack, but the second one got that chicken leg. See,
yeah, right.
Chicken leg or whatever it was,
That's so funny. He leaves us off with a little bit of humor, Okay, so Taylor, take it away. We're closing out now.
Before Miss Connie closes, I would like to remind our viewers and listeners about our amazing advertisement rates. We have 20 and 30-second advertisement slots available. Please email info@operationconfidence.org for more information and visit Operation Confidence's website at www.operationconfidence.org resource page for some amazing resources. I would also like to inform our viewers and listeners about Amazon Smile. When making your next purchase on Amazon, please go to Amazon Smile and type in Operation Confidence in the Choose Your Organization donation box. Amazon will make a small donation to Operation Confidence. Also, to get involved in Operation Confidence Tiny Houses project, visit our website and send us a message on how you would like to be involved.
Martha.
All right, let me get down to the bottom here. Sorry, guys. To our viewers, we would like to inform you about Operation Confidence's Positive Redirection Team, which is a group of male and female veterans who are mentors, having overcome similar challenges and situations, transitioning back into mainstream society. To be connected or become a team member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. And we are also excited to inform our listeners about Operation Confidence's Combat Boots and Lace Veterans Mentoring and Creative Arts Group. To get involved, please email martha@operationconfidence.org.
Okay. And as always, we want to remind our listeners that our goal for the show is to raise awareness about Operation Confidence mission, which is to provide stable housing with a wide range of supportive services for our veterans. So for those with experience or non-experienced and have experienced homelessness, we want you to get involved. We need you so bad. So please send us an email to Operation Confidence, info@operationconfidence.org. That's info@operationconfidence.org. And don't forget to visit our website. We've got tons of resources on that website. So don't forget to go to our website, look on our resource page. There's tons of resources. So to all our viewers, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe to our American Invisible Heroes YouTube channel. We got our own channel. We've had it for a while, and we need everyone to subscribe. So I want to thank you for that. And we're closing out, and we want to thank our guests for coming on today, and know that you're always welcome to come back. And of course, to our co-hosts, you guys are just amazing. And we're going to say goodbye now. Okay, so see you next Sunday. Charles, you're going to wind it down. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.